All right, so if you've gotten, did you get your coins? Get your coins and hit the machine on your way out and you're all good. Thank you. Hello, do your thing. Why are we having trouble here? There we go. Done. There you go. You're good. Annabelle, Everly, here's your coins. There you go. Eunice, you, you still have one coin, honey. Yeah, you missed one. Will you hand this to Annabelle for me? Thank you. The little blonde, she went to the restroom, but she should be out in a minute. Let's see. I think this is her bag. Yeah, I think this is her bag. You can put it right here. Oh, okay. Different mom. Do you want to play here? I think you're going to sit here. Do you want to stand? You can stand if you want. Asher and Drew usually stand. Is everybody found a spot? Look at how tight we are this year. We had to get a new table, right? Because there are so many of us. Make sure it's down. Turn this down a little bit. Okay, humans, on the table, on the dining room table. Where's my stuff? Dining room table, and your coins are there too. See you next week, Annabelle. Make sure your mom is here, or whoever's picking you up is here before you wander out, okay? Okay. Welcome back and welcome new folks. Are we good? Was summer fun? Yoo-hoo! Yep. All right, so if you're new, you can eat during this class, it's fine. You know, just don't feed the dog, please. Like I said earlier, the rules for Ozzy are don't feed him, don't pick him up unless you've been given explicit permission to do so, and let him come to you. He will surf around your feet for food. Do not oblige the dog. He doesn't, do not indulge the dog. He wants the food. He shouldn't have the food. Okay. Let's make sure everybody is seated, comfy. Of course you may. Yep. There's paper towels behind you. You need them? Excellent. All right, so this is a review of what we already went over in lesson 1. I think most of you have found your way into the grade book and started the assignments, although most of them are already late. It's okay, it's first week, takes a while. There's a learning curve, you'll figure it out, right? Okay, you will get an email after class every week, and it'll remind you of what you have to do next, right? So you know what's coming up and what we covered. So that lab, like I said, file it away in your binder and you should be good to go. So let's start this lesson. And this lesson probably won't run the full length of class. So we'll do some icebreakers at the end, but I do want to start with one icebreaker just because we have so many new people this year. I want to start with, let's do... We could do. We did 2 truths and a lie. We did 2 truths and a lie last year. We can do 2 truths and a lie this year. Okay. So, does everybody know how to play 2 truths and a lie? Okay. So basically, if you don't know, you're going to make 3 statements about yourself. 2 are true, 1 is a lie. Okay. And if there's somebody, I don't know, some of you here have siblings that know you pretty well. If that's the case, don't vote for the lie, because that ruins it. All right, so I'll start and we'll go this way. Okay, so start thinking them up. So my 3 statements. So I'm Miss Danny. I used to play piano. I used to play clarinet. I used to play trombone. All right, which one is the lie? Who votes for clarinet? Who votes for piano? And who votes for trombone? Trombone's a lie, never played that one. Although I'd love to learn brass, just don't have the time right now. Okay, You, sir, your name is? Oh, let's do this. Your name, how old you are, like how long you've been here. If you're new to homeschooling, you've been doing it forever, that kind of thing. All right, you are?
Yusuf, and I'm 13 and I've been doing it for 2 years. Okay, these are my.
Wait, say that louder for the people in the back.
Okay. My ELA teacher is a total wimp.
Okay.
I'm not good at I'm not that much good in ELA,
Okay.
and I have the worst friends in school.
Wow, okay, I don't know if this is considered school for that. Let's see.
Not here.
Not here? Okay, so teacher is a wimp, not good at ELA, worst friends in school. Okay, who votes for teacher is a wimp? I'm gonna vote for that because I know who it's not. So I don't know who it is, but I know who it's not. Okay, what was the other one? Oh, you're not that good in ELA. Who wants to vote for that? All right, so some of you know him from last year. He's a very mathy person, so that's a good guess. All right, and you don't have any good friends at school. Anybody want to vote for that? Okay, what's our lie?
The lie is I have horrible friends.
You have horrible friends, really?
I have good friends.
You have good friends. So Yusuf was telling me he's doing Dexter Mosley this year. So he's doing chess and basketball
And ELA.
and ELA at Lambert.
No, South Forsyth.
South Forsyth. Okay, so he is doing a little public school class here or there. So why is your ELA teacher a wimp? I'm very curious.
For one, she always gives me homework a lot. And
Defines wimp.
and
Okay.
I didn't raise my hand and she keeps telling me to answer the question, which I really don't.
So she's a wimp? Okay.
It's not the definition of wimp.
You are next, my friend.
All right, my name is Colin. I'm 14. And this is my first year here.
Excellent. Clarify one thing. This is Colin F. This is Colin G. We have two Collins, okay? Just so we know. Okay, go ahead, Colin.
Great swimmer.
Okay,
I love math.
okay.
And I'm good at triathlon.
Triathlon? Okay, great swimmer, love math, and good at triathlon. All right, who votes for the great swimmer as the lie? All right, who votes for good at math as the lie? Okay, I feel like you're stuck at math. Okay, who votes for triathlon as the lie? I'll do that. I'll say maybe he's not good on the bike.
I think that should be outside.
Okay, Colin, what is it?
The lie is I'm not good at math.
Oh, you're not good at math. Okay, all right. Yeah, you do. You're big, long, and tall. You do look like a swimmer. That's excellent. All right, so next up, yo.
I am Xander.
Oh, it's my turn.
I'm 12.
Mhm.
Is my second year here.
That's three. Oh, no, Xander's not like, go ahead, keep going. Sorry.
So, I have 2 dogs. I've
Mhm.
acted in 2 TV shows.
Okay,
And I don't like bananas.
okay, 2 dogs, 2 TV shows, doesn't like bananas. Okay. Who votes for the dogs being a lie? Who votes for the 2 TV shows being a lie? And who votes for doesn't like bananas being a lie? I don't like bananas. All right.
So the lie is being in the TV show 2 times. I've been in 1 TV show 2 times.
Okay. 1 TV show 2 times, not 2 TV shows 1 time.
What TV show?
It's called The Resident.
Very good. All right, Liam. Swallowing the Gatorade, sorry. Just like a waitress.
Liam. I'm 50.
Hi, Liam. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
My name's Liam. I'm 15 years old. This is my 3rd year here.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is I play guitar.
Okay.
I play guitar. I do play guitar.
Okay. Currently plays guitar.
I been playing hockey for 12 of my 15 years.
Okay. Hockey for 12 years. Mhm.
And I only played baseball for, wait, no. I played baseball for 4 years.
Okay, so it's baseball for 4 years, hockey for 12 years, and what?
I play guitar.
Oh, guitar. Okay, so who votes for guitar is the lie? Who votes for 12 years of hockey is the lie? I'm gonna say it's a different number. Okay, and who votes for, what'd you say?
I played 4 years.
4 years of baseball as the lie. All right, what is it, Liam?
The lie is, I've only played hockey for 10 years.
10 years. I knew you were doing something like that to me. All right, Miss Ridley, you're up.
My name's Ridley.
Uh-huh.
I've been here for it's my second year.
Mm-hmm. What now? Oh, how old are you?
I'm 15.
Yeah.
I like heights.
Heights.
I'm scared of the ocean.
Scared of the ocean.
There was one more.
What was
I
it?
had it and I forgot it.
Oh, she is forgetful. No. She likes heights. She's afraid of the ocean. And give us your favorite ice cream. We're lying about it.
Oh, I had a good one.
It's okay. Can we play 50-50 with the two?
Well, that would just give me away.
Maybe, I don't know. Oh, she's stuck. Ah, just make up another one. Come up with a third one.
You two are not.
Yeah. Ozzy,
Not
Come here.
perfect.
come here.
I like reading.
Okay, so she likes heights, she's afraid of the ocean, and she likes reading. Okay, who votes for heights is the lie? I actually do. Who votes for afraid of the ocean? Colin's one, maybe. Okay, and then how about like reading? Is that what it was? Likes reading. Okay, what's the lie, Ridley?
Terrifying heights.
Terrified of heights. That's what I figured. There we go. All right, excellent. Very good. Okay, Miss CJ Caitlin, what's up?
My name is CJ. I've been here for 3 years and I'm 15.
Okay.
Jolly and Garrett are not allowed to answer.
Yeah, no Jolly and Garrett, no answering. Okay. Harder than it seems. Oh, goodness. Totally went blank on
So-
me. Okay, here we go.
I have a great permit picture.
Okay, that's a good
You
one.
two, shut up.
Okay, that's a good one. Uh-huh.
I've acted since I was 5-ish
Okay.
and I make dragon puppets.
Okay, Dragon Puppets acted since 5 and has an awesome permit picture. Okay, who votes for the permit picture being the lie? Oh, come on. We might have to see it. All right, and who votes for the acting since she was 5 and the Dragon Puppet? All right, what is it?
It's the picture.
Is it just amazing?
It's great.
Are you like looking like cross-eyed or?
No.
Yeah?
Very bug-eyed.
My eyes are really wide because I didn't want my eyes closed.
Oh, okay. So you look very surprised in your picture?
I have a picture of it.
I believe
Actually,
it.
I have my wallet right here with me.
You'll have to show us after class because some inquiring minds want to know. Okay, so we're gonna go PJ, then Ethan, then Asher, and then we'll do the back row. Okay, PJ.
My name is Percy. I'm 16. This is my fourth and final year here. Okay, I'm doing dual enrollment.
Dual enrollment.
Not me, it's right? Okay. My muscles twitch when I don't have enough magnesium.
Okay.
I have a third one.
Yeah, that's a very specific one. My muscles twitch.
Okay.
Yep.
I do feel romantic attraction.
Okay. All right. So number one, does she? I know I've forgotten what they were. Dual enrollment,
Muscles twitch.
muscles twitching with magnesium, and likes people. All right. So who votes for the truth being dual enrollment? I mean, the lie being dual enrollment. And the lie being muscles twitching.
Lucy.
And the lie being
That's here.
attracted to people. And
I feel no romantic.
nothing suits your fancy. All right. There we go. Ethan, would you like to go?
People stuff.
No, you don't want to go? Not at all? You want to wait to the end or you don't want to go at all? Don't want to go at all. Okay, so we'll get to know Ethan a little more slowly. He's new. It's good. All right, you're up, Asher.
So, greetings.
Hi.
Greetings, Asher.
I'm 15 years old. I have learned or am learning
Mhm.
2 of these 3 languages.
Okay, 2 of the 3 languages. So one language is a lie. All right.
Ancient Greek,
Greek,
Japanese,
Japanese.
and Latin.
Greek, Japanese, and Latin. One of them's a lie. So who votes for Greek? Who votes for Japanese? Oh, who votes for Latin? All right, which is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was so hoping you could teach me Japanese. Oh, good. All right, so we'll go to Rylan. Rylan, what you got?
I'm Rylan, my first year, and
How old are you?
I'm 15.
15. All right.
Okay, first one is I lived in New Jersey. Second, I lived in California.
Okay.
And third, I lived in Canada.
Okay, so one of these places he's never lived, New Jersey, California, or Canada. So who says he's never lived in New Jersey? How about California? How about Canada? All right, what is it?
The lie is California.
Never been in California. All right, where in Canada did you live?
BC.
BC. All right, excellent. Okay, Caden, how about you?
My name's Caden, 15. I attend a mountain biking team.
Ooh,
I created thermite.
okay,
And I've broken a bone before.
okay. All right, so mountain biking team created thermite and broken a bone. So who says the mountain biking team is a lie? How about the thermite? How about the broken bone? Okay, what is it?
I've never broken a bone. I made thermite next to grass before.
Excellent. Can you tell everybody what thermite is?
You can use it to burn through concrete. I forgot how to make it.
Man,
Like 7 years ago.
that's great. Okay, Gabe, you want to go?
My name is Kate,
Okay. Hang
12,
on. Uh-huh.
and it's my first year.
Okay.
I wear glasses,
Okay.
I play piano,
Okay.
and I play trombone.
Okay. Glasses, piano, or trombone? Everybody's looking at your face. Okay, let's. All right. Who says glasses are the lie? Everybody's like, you're not wearing them now. Who says piano is the lie? And who says trombone is the lie? All right, what is it?
Trombone is the
Trombone is the lie. There, you and I are lying about the same things today. We're on the same wavelength. All right, Andrew.
My name is Andrew. I've been playing hockey for 6 years. I'm 12. I've been playing hockey for 6 years. I'm on a mountain biking team.
Okay.
Wait, no, I crashed a dirt bike into a car, and
Oh.
I'm good at chess.
Okay, so hockey, crash a dirt bike into a car, and you're good at chess. All right, so who thinks he's lying about the hockey? The mountain biking team. And, oh, sorry, dirt bike into a car. I lied about it. Crash a dirt bike into a car. That seems like something that a 12-year-old boy would do. Okay, and then how about oh, good at chess? All right, which is it?
I'm not good at chess.
All right, there we go, very good. All right, Addie?
Crashing a dirt bike is a very you thing to do.
Yay.
You would crash a dirt bike.
I'm Addie, I'm 15 years old and this is my first year.
Mhm.
I play soccer,
Okay,
I play clarinet and I like watermelon.
okay, soccer, clarinet, and likes watermelon. Okay, who says soccer's the lie? Guess that. Who says clarinet's the lie? And how about watermelon? Oh, people are torn on this one. All right, what's the lie?
Watermelon.
You don't like watermelon? Oh, okay. Very good. All right, Lucas, you're up, my friend.
Okay, my name is Lucas. You can call me Lucasino if you want.
Okay. Everybody says no.
I am not 16, I am 15.
Okay.
This is my second year here. So the first one is I've been to around 10 countries outside of the USA.
Okay.
Second one is I play 3 musical instruments.
Okay.
And third one is I've eaten raw seafood.
Okay. So 10 countries, 3 instruments, and raw sea urchin.
Yes.
All right. So is the 10 countries the lie? How about the 3 instruments? And how about the raw sea urchin? Okay, what's the lie?
So my brother has eaten raw seafood and I have not.
Oh, you've eaten the raw sea urchin? Was it good? No. Oh, I don't know about that one. All right, James, you're up.
My name is James. I'm old.
He's old.
17.
Yeah, James is our oldest. Uh-huh.
My last year.
Yep.
And I should have been thinking about that.
You're technically a senior? Technically? Yep, that's what I thought. Yep. Excellent. It's coming. Uh-huh.
I can do a backflip.
He can do a backflip.
I can do 2 backflips at the same
Yeah.
time.
Define double tuck, double layout. What are we saying? Double tuck. Okay. He's doing a triple. We have to have a conversation here. Uh-huh. You don't like what? Banana. Okay. So single back tuck, double back tuck, doesn't like bananas. All right. So who says the single back tuck's the lie? All right. How about the double back tuck? Is that the lie? And how about the bananas? All right, James. Hey, Drew's like, is this a dismount or a floor routine? Yes. What's your answer? What's the lie? You can't do 2? Just one. Excellent. All right, cool. So James just retired from gymnastics. Rylan just retired from gymnastics. Drew is still doing gymnastics. So we have some gymnasts in the crew. All right, Colin.
Dolly's not allowed to answer.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Colin. I'm 17. Technically, I am actually the oldest.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're older, aren't you? Just by a little bit though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you're technically a senior as well.
Yes.
Yep.
This is my second year, Lab Rats. Okay. I have a job at Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
I got my first speeding ticket last week.
Oh, okay.
And I also enjoy acting, which I can't.
Okay, so Chick-fil-A, speeding ticket. Oh, it'd be a heck of a thing to lie about. And acting. All right, so who says the Chick-fil-A is the lie? How about the speeding ticket being the lie? Well, people have trust in you. And about the acting being the lie. All right, what is it?
You never gotten a speeding ticket.
Good job, thank you. All right. I was gonna say, your mom's about to be like, your Chick-fil-A money is now going towards insurance. So there
If you
you
looked
yeah.
at him in public, you would say, yes, that man works at you.
You would say that. Accurate. All right, Drew, you're last.
Okay.
Start by telling us who you are.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
So 16, I don't know how many years we've done this.
You've been doing this. This is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 year. 6th.
Okay, I've done gymnastics for 13 years. I don't know how to ride a bike. And I'm not good at that.
Okay, so he's done gymnastics for 13 years. He doesn't know how to ride a bike and he's not good at math. And one of these is a lie. Okay, so who says,
Two lies there.
Dad from the kitchen. All right, so who says gymnastics for 13 years is a lie? All right, who says doesn't know how to ride a bike is a lie? And who says he's not good at math? All right, Drew, what's our lie?
I don't know how to ride a bike.
Yeah, you know how to ride a bike. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember from one specific Halloween last year.
Oh, yeah?
It's like around.
He did. He made himself like a ghostwriter type thing. It was cool. All right, so we're going to start our lesson now. Now that we're all a little more familiar with each other. Okay, so in the back, zip it. All right, now I know my chatty groups are going to be right here and right here. So keep it zipped, people. All right, now how this works is you're going to see some blanks. If you know the answer, put your hand up. I'll call on you. I want everybody to answer at least one question. Even if it's, I don't know the answer, but I like strawberry ice cream. Fine. You answer, you get the coin. You take the coin on your way out and you put it in the candy machine and you crank out some Skittles. Did you have a question before we go?
This question has to be not expected.
No. Dropping coins. All right. Did you have a question, Colin, or no? You good? All right. You like strawberry ice cream? Okay. So this is a review of what we just did. Hayden. I mean, we prefer they go back in the machine because they just get recycled. Okay. Keep it as a souvenir. All right. So here we go. So we're talking about what is science. The rats are back. Yes, our rats are back. So Google, as your lesson told you, defines science as the intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study and study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. So the first thing we're doing is breaking that down. So CJ, intellectual means what?
Mental.
Mental. We're going to use mental. So ding, 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 looky here. First penny. All right. And then practical, Ridley. Hands-on. All right. Encompassing, Xander. Surrounding. Very good. Where's Xander? I gotta remember where everybody is. This year they're all rearranged. How about systematic, Lucas? Well, organized. Yeah, that'll work. Controlled would work, but organized is what we were looking for. All right. Structure, Yusuf. Construction. Very good. And behavior, Colin. There you go. Actions. F. Physical. What do we have for physical? Asher. Yeah. Touchable. Very good. Very good. And then, gotta learn where all these people's names go. Natural, Colin. Parrot. All right. Natural, Drew. Real. Okay. Very good. And then, where's Drew? Oh, there you are. You're last. All right. And then, Caden, what's observation?
Right.
Say or watch or look, but this is also, you have to remember, observation is also any of your senses. So we kind of, for our sake of defining, we're using watching, but you could also say listening, smelling, touching, any of those things. All right, Andrew, and how about experiment? Good, Andrew. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, so no, you just want some skills. At least you spoke. All right, Addie. Testing. Very good. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. All right, now, so if we redefine this with some less big words, we get the mental and hands-on activity surrounding the organized study of the construction and the actions of the touchable and real world through watching and testing, or the study of the natural world through knowledge about the natural world. So what we already know about it. That is based on facts learned through observation and experiment. Okay, so we have three main branches in science. This first one has mathematics, logic, and statistics. Anybody know what this one is called, PJ?
Formal science.
Those are the formal sciences, okay? And then this one in the middle is broadly divided into physical science and life science, James. Natural sciences. And then this last one is largely divided into like sociology and human behavior. Liam.
Social science.
Social sciences. Okay, for a lot of you guys, this is a huge review. We've done this a million times, right? What would go down here under physical science in this little blank spot right there? Somebody wasn't gone. Everybody here is gone. Colin, you go. Chemistry. All right. So life science is largely biology and its many subdivisions. So one thing that we'll focus on every so often whenever it pops up are Greek and Latin roots, prefixes, suffixes that you see in a lot of scientific words that help you define it. So this is a great example right here. Ology means what? Who knows what ology means? PJ.
Study of.
Study of. Okay, and what lives in a zoo? Caden? Animals live in a zoo. So what do you suppose zoology is, Ridley? Study of animals. See how that works? That's great, right? So you can figure out stuff like that. If you didn't know ahead of time that zoology is the study of animals, you can figure it out by looking at the word and breaking it down. All right, so now we'll talk about what are the big ideas in chemistry this year. So what do you suppose this first one represents? Yusuf. Atoms. Okay, so yes, atoms is the first thing. That's the first big idea. And our second big idea, Colin? Chemical reactions. Very good. All right. Where's this Colin? 2 Collins. There you go. And then lastly, what do we suppose this one is? Xander. No, Lucas. Sorry.
Molecules?
Not molecules, but you're close. You're close. You're close. Escher? Bonds. There we go. All right, bonds. So these are our big ideas in chemistry. All right. In physical science, remember it was like forces and motion and things like that. So this year it's atoms, chemical reactions, chemical bonding. All right, so now let's talk about the big one, theory versus law. This is one of the ones that's going to show up, tell you now, every midterm, every final exam, in every science class I teach. This question will be there. Okay, there's a couple of them that will always be there. This is one of them because it's very important to understand. So in studying science, what's the difference between a theory and a law? Scientific law tells, Caden,
Fact.
right? Tells a fact. That's good. What do I want in the blank? Liam. What? There we go. It tells what happens, a fact. Okay. If I drop this penny, what happens? It will fall, right? It will. We could observe it. If I do, it'll go rolling, but that's what'll happen. Okay. Scientific theory tells CJ. Why it happens, an explanation. Okay. So if I drop this penny, it will fall. Law. Why does it fall? Gravity, but why?
Because gravity will act on it.
Yeah, it's being pulled towards the center of the earth because the center of the earth has some mass. There's spinning and rotational activity, gravitational rotational activity going on. There's a lot going on. So gravity is an example of one of those things that's it both has a law and a theory. The law of gravity says if I drop it, it's falling, right? And then the theory will explain to you why it fell, right? Okay. So there's a big difference between a theory and a law, and you have to know the difference. And a lot of theories, as we'll learn, are not scientific. But in this class, we're going to study scientific theory and scientific law. So, great example is theory of origin. This comes up most specifically in biology. What do I mean by origin? What's origin mean, James? Origin of life. How do we get here? How did the earth get here? How do people get here? Where do we come from? Origin, right? Okay, so there are hundreds of origin theories. There are far fewer that are scientific origin theories. Okay, so you've got the scientific origin theory of Big Bang. You got the scientific origin theory of evolution involving natural selection. These are all scientific theories, right? But then you've also got all kinds of other origin theories. Your 3 big Abrahamic faiths, so your Islam, Judaism, Christianity, have an origin theory based in Genesis, right? So that's a theory as well, but it's not scientific theory. So when we talk about theories in this class, it doesn't matter what you personally believe. So if we were talking, for example, about Big Bang, which isn't so much come up in chemistry, but it does come up in earth science, it does come up in physical science, it does come up in biology. But if we're talking about Big Bang, even if you think it is hooey, the answers in this class are Big Bang is the theory of origin, right? Because that's what we're talking about in this class. It's about scientific perspective, scientific theory. So always assume that whatever anybody is saying, what comes before it is according to scientific theory, not according to my personal beliefs. Okay, everybody understands that, right? All right, good. That's important. So now let's talk about measurement. All right. What are things we measure? What's he measuring for? What kind of measurement is he trying to get here? CJ. He's going for length. Okay. He is going for length. We can tell because he's using a tape measure. He's on the beach. He's measuring. What's so funny about him? All right. How about what's this guy? Do you suppose he's trying to deal with? Kaden, height could be. Height is a type of length, so could be. What else do we think? Asher? Maybe weight. Maybe weight. Ridley? Mass is what we're looking for. Okay, dudes in the back, you're already chatty. Mass. Okay, so he's going for mass. What is mass? Somebody define mass for me. Liam.
How much matter is in a certain space?
How much matter is contained within a certain object, certain space, right? That's your mass. Does your mass change based on your physical location?
No.
No.
Yes.
No. Not your mass. Your weight changes, but not your mass. Why is your weight different in space, Kaden?
Difference in gravity is pulling you down.
Right. So weight is the measure of gravity's effect on mass, but mass is how much stuff, how much matter there is. So this looks like it's probably pretty heavy for him because it has a lot of mass. So what do you suppose she's measuring for? I like her. She's my new favorite. Addie, what's she measuring? She's measuring for weight. Okay. So I love her. Yes. She's body positive. I like her.
She got a lot of confidence.
Yeah, she does.
She's very muscular.
Yeah. All right, so let me ask y'all this. Where, based on this picture, where is she located? She's at the beach. So is her weight going to be at its heaviest possible spot here or at its lightest possible spot here on planet Earth? Heaviest, why? Sea level. So she's at sea level, right? She is at sea level, and that is where you have the greatest effect of gravity. So it's pulling down on her pretty hard because she's pretty close to the center, and she's got her belly ring, and she is just like weighing in before she. I don't know why you'd weigh yourself in a bikini on the beach. It sounds like the most demoralizing thing you could do. But hey, knock yourself out, chickie.
Bikini contest weight.
I like her, man. It's so funny. Like. I'm telling you, I love it. So she's weight. All right, now what do you suppose this guy is indicating? James. Area. Okay. Bad posture, yeah. If you had wanted to know the area of his blanket, how would you find it? What would you measure? The length?
And the width.
And the, yes. Okay, the length and the width. So if you want to know something's area, it's length times width. What's an example of how you could use area in everyday life? What's something you might need to do? Kaden.
Fit something in a certain place, so you have to find its
That'll work.
like its size.
Yeah, that'll work. Sure, fit something, tile a floor, that kind of thing, right? There's your area. So he's measuring area, or at least he's indicating area because he's spreading out his blanket. Okay, how about this one? What would you do with the bucket, maybe, Liam?
Yeah, carrot.
Carrot. Carrot's a good answer. PJ. Volume, we're going for volume. Okay. Volume. All right. Now, the point of volume is if you're doing a cube, how do you get volume? How do you find it? Yeah.
Oh, length time width. times height.
Length times width times height if you're trying to get volume of a cube. Now, when you get into different shapes, it gets a little more complex, right? There's cones and there's cylinders and there's whatever. But volume is the amount of matter in a contained space, right? So dude is filling that up with some sand or water, so there's volume for him. And they're very busy with their little sandcastle. They're very happy. All right, now what do you suppose this guy might be trying to show us? Asher? Density. How did you get that? The only thing that was left? What's he holding?
A buoy.
A buoy. What's a buoy do?
It floats.
Why? Because it's less what?
Dense in the water.
Less dense than the water. So the buoy floats because it's less dense than the water. So I like his little toothers. Do you see his little teeth? It's got little bucky teeth. So yeah, so he's got the buoy to remind you of density. It's gonna float.
Does he own a gas station?
Maybe. He looks like he might. And there's one more. What's this guy doing? All right, Colin. Time. Very good. All right, time. This guy's got his Timex. He's doing time. And there's actually another one after this. Yeah.
Why is the rat on the beach with these people in the background?
I don't know. Maybe they don't know he's there, but he is enjoying himself. And how about these guys? What are they doing? All right, Rylan. Temperature. Okay. So in science, what scales do we use for temperature? Do we know, Asher? Celsius is one. What's another one that we use in science for temperature? Kelvin. Those are the big ones. Yeah. And we won't be doing too much Kelvin because that's really silly for what we're doing. Liam. All right. Very good. All right. So we use metric in science. Sometimes some of our labs will call for customary imperial standard. Take your pick. You can call it any of those three. It's still accurate. That's the one you're used to. Cups, teaspoons, miles, feet, inches. But it's how many feet are in a mile? Oh, look at everybody taking a minute. 5,280. But how many meters are in a kilometer? Say it. 5,000. 1,000 meters in a kilometer. That's much easier, right? It's base 10. So base 10 is so much easier. If you're not familiar with it, it's okay. Most of us aren't. Now, I admit this. If I'm on Amazon and I'm like, I need to order a widget, whatever, and then it gives me the dimensions in centimeters, I got to ask, who over here on the shelf, hey, A-word, what is so and so many centimeters converted to inches, because I have trouble visualizing it myself, and I use metric all the time because I teach science, but I still have trouble visualizing what that means. But it's so much easier to do your conversions when everything's base 10. It's either multiply or divide by 10. So we remember it with the little mnemonic, metric. Remember it with the little mnemonic. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Now you may have heard King Henry died Monday drinking chocolate milk. That was what we used to say. But in that case, the M meant meter, but really meter's not accurate because it could be meter, liter, gram. It could be any of our units that we're using. So unit is what we put in its place, and that's where we get the unusually from. So if something is 10 times 10 times 10 or 1,000 times the unit, what's the prefix we use? Okay, Lucas.
Kilo?
That's kilo. Okay, you probably heard of kilogram or kilometer, right? These are the ones that you're probably most familiar with, kilometer. If you've been to Canada, Rylan, everything's in kilometers up there. So you got speed limits, make it look like you can go real fast. Not that fun, right? All right, and then what's the H? What's 100 times, Asher? Hecto. Very good. You don't hear that as much in common conversation, but you do often hear hectare, and hectare is kind of like another way to measure land, like an acre. Like sometimes you'll hear hectare, but you don't hear hecto often in common conversation, but you will hear it in lab. And what's the D for 10 times? Colin. Deca, right. Deca is 10. And then we said the U was unit. So what is 10 times smaller, Ridley? Deci. Okay, so 10 times bigger is deca and 10 times smaller is deci. All righty. And then our last ones are C is going to be for? Centi. Very good. And then what's the M going to be for, Drew? M. Yeah, Millie, there you go. Okay, so he was stretching, so I called him because his hands were up. I totally knew he didn't really mean it. Okay, so if I told you that the root PED often means foot, PED or POD means foot, then what would you expect a centipede to look like?
100 feet.
100 feet. And what would you expect a millipede to look like? 1,000 feet, right? Right. Okay, so that's the root of, that's how you use, like when you see a root and then you see a prefix, you can figure it out. Like a millipede or centipede, they don't actually have 100,000, but that's where the name has come from, and it makes sense, right? All right. So now let's talk about how we present our data. Now that we know we're using metric when we measure our data, how do we present our data? So data is plural, first of all, although we use it pretty much interchangeably like it's single, just in conversation, because it's just sort of what we do. But datum is singular. So if you're looking for one piece of data, only one, it's datum. But you just rarely hear it, but that's what's correct. So data are the information gained from observing and testing an experiment. Scientists use data to gain understanding and make conclusions. Data can be presented as charts, graphs, tables, and sometimes using scientific notation. Question?
What language is he writing in?
I don't know. He's doing math of some kind. I think he's doing physics, high-end physics.
He's writing in Radish.
Yes, he's a very smart little rat. All right, so then hypothesis. So we just went over this in lab. So a hypothesis is a what that can be what, CJ? An idea that can be tested. All right, so in order, this is one of the other ones that's going to be on every midterm and every final you take. Okay, so in order for a hypothesis to be considered, it must be possible for it to be something and repeatable or something else and repeatable. What are the words we use, Liam?
Rejected and accepted.
Right, it has to be able to be supported or rejected, or rejected, or yeah, there you go. So we try not to say true or false. Although it's hard, sometimes it slips in, but you should try not to say true or false. You should try to say that it's supported, or it's either rejected or not supported or unsupported. That's kind of the correct terminology when talking about hypotheses. Hypotheses is plural for hypothesis, right? Okay, now this dude, I like him. So he's going to talk about scientific method. All right, we just did this in lab, right? We just did scientific method. So to test hypothesis, we use a scientific method. What are we trying to conduct? Xander. A controlled experiment is the goal. Now, let me ask you guys, were your lab experiments that controlled today? A little, some things were not too much. All right, yeah. So the idea of a controlled experiment is that you're only changing one thing, right? Y'all were like, woo, kind of went crazy and threw stuff in the box. But today was more about learning how to form a hypothesis and getting some ideas for how you could go about testing things. So the thing about scientific method is that it's not a straight line from point A to point B. You have to be able to know when to stop and either revise your hypothesis, or you have to know when to kind of go, okay, I'm going to change my procedure because there's a problem here. So in college, my senior project involved using rats in a lab. I had like 12, I think, rats that were my rats in a lab. And part of what I was doing was giving them a particular chemical substance and testing for a particular result. So in the process, it was funny too, because I had to go to the health clinic at the school and get a prescription because it was a prescription drug, and then take it to the actual pharmacy and get the actual drug. It's kind of cool. So anyway, my idea was that I was going to test, I had a hypothesis and I was going to test it by giving the rats peanut butter with the crushed up substance, medication. It was a prescription drug in the peanut butter. So I did that at first, and it didn't work real well because they didn't eat all the peanut butter at one time. They'd eat it and then they'd come back and eat more, and then they'd come back and eat more. So it's like, okay, I'm probably giving them too much, but I couldn't give them too little because then they could really taste the medicine. So I didn't want that. So then I finally was like, okay, well, now what I have to do is I got to like not feed them for 12 hours or 24 hours or whatever I ended up doing, and then give them the medication so that they actually will eat the peanut butter because they weren't hungry enough. I took a whole month. My research project was an entire semester, spring semester of senior year, but I took all of January to just pilot the experiment. So the whole purpose of that was, what kind of rats do I need? How many, watch, they were mice, but still, how many mice do I need? How many, how am I going to do this? How am I going to give them how much of the drug do I give them? Do I do it by mass? Do I give them all the same amount? I had to like mass all it was mice, not rats, sorry. I had to mass all these mice, like what do they weigh? And then they're running around on the scale. All that, that takes time, right? So to do that takes time. And then once you get your method kind of nailed down, you can roll with it. Yes?
Is that why you named this class Lab Rats?
Actually, that was my first email address because I was in the lab with little rodents for hours. And yeah, it kind of has stuck. Made a whole video about it. Got published. It was cool. Only time I've been published for research, but I can say I did it. That was pretty neat. Yeah. So yeah, your controlled experiment is what you're aiming for. And in order to get that controlled experiment and be sure that your procedure is clear, sometimes you got to waver, kind of wiggle around till you find a clear method. And then once that method's clear, and you got to take a lot of notes, because once that method's clear, you need to be able to have somebody else replicate your experiment, which means your procedure has to be very explicit and very clear, step by step. Because we talked about, for a hypothesis to be true, it has to be able to be replicated. So you have to be able to replicate the whole process. All right, so, and in lab, we replicate here by having 4 teams. That's how we replicate our data, instead of everybody running it multiple times. So what are variables? All right. Controlled experiment is an experiment in which only one variable, the independent variable, is deliberately changed. So the variable you change is what? You said
Independent or
right.
manipulated variable.
Independent or manipulated. Okay, so this textbook is going to refer to it 100%, I think, as, I think this one is manipulated. Of our 4 textbooks, they bounce back and forth between, do we call it independent or manipulated? Independent means it stands on its own. It's the thing you change. It is independent of what is going on. Okay, because it's usually what's causing, not always causing the change, but it's standing alone. Sometimes they call it manipulated because it is the thing you change. You can what's it mean to manipulate? Like, who's got a
change?
What's it mean?
Change or something.
Yeah, like you can manipulate Play-Doh and turn it into a snake. You can also
People.
manipulate, yeah, you can manipulate your mom if you're real good at it. Yeah, that's how we're, yeah, some people are very manipulative. All right, so that's your independent variable. What is the variable that you observe being changed, PJ?
The dependent.
That's your dependent. And what was the other word for it? Does anybody remember? Do you remember?
Responding.
Responding. Okay. And this is because what happens to it depends on what you've changed. And it is dependent upon what is going on. What you're going to see with that variable is dependent upon what's going on. And you could also say it's responding because it responds to the changes you've made with the independent variable. And then lastly, the variable that you keep the same, Ridley, that's your controlled variable. Okay, this one's probably the reason, if you have an experiment and it's not going well, it's probably problems with control. Usually there is more than one control. There are usually multiple controls. So let's say I gave everybody the identical plastic container with a damp paper towel and 3 sunflower seeds in it. And I said, take it home and record your data and tell me when it germinates. So I've controlled for the wet paper towel, the exact same container, and 3 sunflower seeds. What am I not controlling for, PJ?
The temperature of the house.
Temperature of the house, that's one.
The sunlight it gets.
How much sunlight it gets, yep, that's another one. Those are 2 obvious ones,
Quality of the air.
Quality of the air, yeah, maybe yeah. Okay, maybe your house is so hot that it gets moldy in there. Okay, well, that's totally different.
Animals eating the seeds.
Animals eating the seeds.
Right.
Right. So it's usually the control that's going to cause, if your experiment's having problems, it's usually have a problem with a control. So we try to keep things as controlled as possible in lab, but we do have 4 teams. So sometimes if somebody messes something up, sometimes what you'll see this year, you'll get 3 sets of very similar data and one that's like way wonky off the chart. Something they didn't control for usually, or they just didn't follow directions. So This will be, again, this is another one that's on, like I said, every single midterm, every single final you get from me. You have to know these. So your independent variable is what you change, your dependent variable is what you observe, and your controlled variable is what you keep the same. All right, so yes, ma'am. I don't know. I always forgot to use the engrave it for eternity. I made a little graphic that was like, remember this for the rest of your life. And then I kept forgetting to put it in. Maybe one day I'll be better at remembering to put it in. All right, settled science. This is another big one. That's in the back. That's on every midterm, every final. So it's this whole idea that science is settled, but this is a misunderstanding of science. All right, so why? First, it presumes it's in a binary state. Binary means like 1 and 0, yes and no, on and off, right? You have two choices. So science doesn't exist that way. It's not settled over the line, unsettled on this side of the line. Settled, it doesn't work that way, okay? It's never 100% settled. So that's number one. Number two is, whoop, click the thing. Hello, I clicked you. There you go. This is the one that is harder for people to remember when they're putting it on a test, because you have to write these out for me. Every test, you got to write them out. It's not like multiple choice. You have to know these. So it's the idea that you have a poor understanding in one area of science, so somehow that negates a good understanding in another area. Or you understand a lot here, so you should know just as much about this over here. That's not how it works. We understand different concepts with varying degrees of certainty. Definitely not how it works. And then lastly is this idea that natural science is about narrowing uncertainty. It's not about 100% proofs. Your formal sciences are 100% proofs. If I have 2 eggs in this hand and 2 eggs in this hand, how many eggs do I have altogether? 4. Is it ever going to be 6? No, it's going to be 4 because 2 plus 2 is 4, right? That's math. That's a formal science. That's there. Logic is the other formal science. So here's an example. Either Miss Danny or PJ love donuts. Miss Danny does not love donuts. Therefore, PJ loves donuts. If I said one of us loves donuts, but I don't love donuts, therefore PJ loves donuts. That's how logic works. Anybody ever done those logic puzzles where it's like you got to put a little X or a little O?
I love them.
I love those too. Some of them make me crazy because I can't figure it out and I'll look at it for like hours. And they're fun, but that's logic, okay? Natural sciences are not that way. So this science is settled thing. You see this the most usually in the media. It's usually somebody who is somewhat scientifically illiterate, which is a real problem these days. Usually somebody who is somewhat scientifically illiterate, and they're usually saying it with some sort of motive, unfortunately often political motive. So we saw this a lot with COVID. Oh no, it's settled. If you do this, then this will happen. Well, then everybody did this and then something different happened. And they're all like, ooh. And then people would get mad and they'd go, well, the science is lying. No, the science isn't lying. We're learning as we go, right? You have to learn as you go. You don't come in knowing everything. And we had to learn on the fly. And some of it got crazy. And what I mean by scientifically illiterate are people that say things like, oh, the term I heard many times, virus molecules. That's not a thing. You know, people say, oh, the virus molecules can't fit through this type of fabric. And I'm like, what the heck is a virus molecule? What are you saying? That's not even a thing. And then people would say things like, the virus is living or the virus is dead. Viruses aren't alive or dead. They're something entirely different. They're a different type of organism. They're not really alive and they're not really dead. Kind of prions are the same way. And we'll learn about that in biology, but they're not, you can kind of make it non-functional. You can kill it in the sense that it can't replicate, but you can't really kill something that wasn't alive, right? So, right. Yeah, so you'll see this a lot, especially when somebody has some sort of motive or they're trying to move people to some sort of consequence. The other big area, guys in the back, where we hear this a lot, probably where we've heard it the most in the last decade, is anything involved with global warming or climate change. All the time, people go, oh, well, the science is settled on that. This causes that. Even if you have tons of fabulous and compelling data to prove that your point is the most valid point, it's still not settled because it doesn't work that way. Yes.
To stop oil people.
The stop oil people, yeah.
People are annoying.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of people, they're very passionate and they have very good data. They have very good data to back up their point. It's very compelling data. That's fine. You can say the compelling data tells us that, but you can't say it's settled because that's not accurate. Because for years we had compelling data that Earth was flat, and we had compelling data that the sun revolved around the Earth. All that we now know is not right, right? Okay, so that's not accurate unless you're one of these crazy, I hate to say crazy, but you know what I mean, the flat earthers. The flat earthers, can I say they're crazy? Is that offensive? Okay, yeah, because it's like, you've seen the pictures from space, right? Those folks.
It's like planes. How did I think planes so low?
Exactly. Okay,
Antarctica being an ice wall.
there you go.
Not true.
Yeah. Yeah. There's lots of stuff that we've discovered over time. So to properly answer the question, is science settled? An understanding of how science works is first required. So remember, no matter who says otherwise, science is, everybody, never settled. Never settled. Another example of scientific illiteracy, and this popped up the last time I taught chemistry, because it was current then, so it's no longer current now, but there was a survey done in Europe by European Chemical Society or something. It was kind of like the American Chemical Society, but it was the European version of it. And they asked like 3,000 Europeans a bunch of questions because they were checking for scientific literacy. That was the point. And for the question or the statement, you had to pick true or false. And the statement was, I wish I could live in a world without chemicals. And like 80% of them said yes. And it's like, oh no, you mean you don't want water? You don't want a body? You don't want food? Because that's all chemicals. Like it's all
Everything is chemicals.
everything is chemicals. Yes. And you know, saying you want to live in a world where there's no chemicals is very illiterate. Yes.
Is everything chemicals, because that's just a general term for
Mhm.
like matter?
Yeah, you could, well, yeah, I mean, everything is composed of matter and all matter is composed of some type of chemical, at least all matter that we're going to come in contact with ever, you know, not like weird states of matter and things like that. But in your day-to-day life on this planet, yep, chemicals everywhere. Everything is chemicals. All right, if you have your phone, pull your phone out. If you don't have your phone, that's fine. Yeah, you can grab it. Woo! You're at least trying to die. All right. Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
there you go.
Oh, okay. Oh, no.
Dude, giggling, what are you giggling at? All right, so give y'all a second to scan. So if you're new, this is Mentimeter and this is fun. We do some question and answer like this. All right, so our first question for Mentimeter, I gotta start it. Wi-Fi, if you need it, it's right here, right here. It's Rico, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the Rico is capitalized both times. Capital R-I-C-O, capital R-I-C-O.
Wait, mine's not loaded.
Okay, give it a second. It should. I just turned it on, so. So the question is it a good hypothesis? Give everybody some time to get situated. Yeah.
For the final project, have you decided if we could work in groups of 3?
3, I haven't yet, but I will think about it. Yeah.
I'm not able to edit the final project.
Oh, you're not? Okay, I'll have to go in and check it. I threw it together real fast because somebody was already demanding their element early. So I had to make sure that I had it. I'll check on that. Let me make myself a note to do that. All right, so first question is, if I water a plant, or the first hypothesis that we're posing, if I water a plant every day, it will grow faster. All right, so 5 of you think it's a good hypothesis and 4 of you think it's not a good hypothesis. Okay, so a so 6 now. Okay, so I thought for a hypothesis to be a good.
Trouble hearing. Can you say that again?
No. A hypothesis, for it to be a good hypothesis, it has to be testable. So the first question is, can you test this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. How, somebody tell me, how would you test this? Okay, PJ, how would you test this?
I think in 2 same plants in the same environments, watering one every day and not watering one every day.
Okay, taking 2 plants, putting them in the exact same environment, watering one every day, and then not watering one every day. Okay. How would you maybe water the second plant that you're not watering every day?
Once a week.
Once a week. Okay. Other thoughts?
A hypothesis usually has an if and then.
A hypothesis can have an if then. So could we phrase this, if I water a plant every day, then it will grow faster? We could. Okay. So not all hypotheses have if then, but that's very often a clue that it is testable. All right. Did you have something to add, Lucas?
Well, some plants need water more than others, so if you water it every day, you could drown the plant.
But would that be testing it? Yeah, you'd be testing whether or not it grows faster. You might be killing it in the process. If I did that to my aloe back there, it would die for sure. It would not like that. No, because it would not do well. Okay, so that's a way to test it. It also has to be repeatable. Could you repeat this?
Yes.
How could you repeat this?
More plants. More plants.
More plants? What else? Somebody back there said something else. Could you maybe could you run this for like a month maybe and then get 2 new plants? And try it that way? Now let me ask you this. What has to be true about both plants? If you're watering one once a day and one once a week, and these are your 2 controls, what else has to be true about those plants?
They're both already healthy or are in the same state.
There you go. They're coming in the same condition. What else, Colin?
They also have to be the same plant.
They have to be the same kind of plant. It won't do you any good to put an aloe and a philodendron side by side and try this, right? It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
You can't fertilize only one.
Yeah, you can't fertilize only one, so that's a control too. You can't fertilize. You got to do what you're doing the same across the board. So, do we agree that it's a good hypothesis? Yes, this is actually a good hypothesis. You can test this and you can repeat this. Drew, Colin, shh. All right, so next question would be, if it will go, load. All right, oatmeal is the best breakfast. Is this a good or bad hypothesis? Let's see. Good hypothesis or not a good? Woo!
I don't like this eggs.
He's enjoying his oatmeal. This one really likes oatmeal. Yummy. All right. Can you test this?
No.
Now, what are we testing for? Yeah, there's a word in here that throws the whole thing immediately. What's the word? Best. What the heck does best mean? Best what? If you say oatmeal will keep away hunger longer than cereal, Rice Krispies. Okay. That maybe best is that it lasts longer. Is best the tastiest? Best the cheapest? Best what?
The most nutritious?
The most nutritious? Yeah. What's the metric for best? There's no metric there. You can't test best. Now, best something. It's the most nutritious, or it's the I don't know, the favored breakfast. It's the one that everybody likes. It's the preference. You could test for something like that. But best is no. Whenever you see something like that, it's no good. Best is no good. So no, not a good hypothesis. We can't use that one. All righty. Now this one. Adults can more accurately guess the temperature than children. Can we test this one?
I think it's 71.
Hey, he's gonna guess already. Could you test this?
Yeah.
How could you?
My car said so.
Yeah. So how could you test this?
You take a Google it,
We can test it right here. What's your guess?
71.
71? What's your guess? 75? 73?
74.
74? Ridley?
72.
72? 72? Which is? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Room temperature. Yeah.
Room temperature? Carrot temperature? Yeah.
68 and 69.
I'm gonna guess 75.
You saw it.
I didn't actually. I made sure I didn't see it. I made sure my hand wasn't gonna like smack it because it's a touch screen.
It's 238.
Don't see it. 75 is right. Okay. Now I'm only right because I'm super sensitive to temperature and I know what it feels like in my house. But yes, this can be tested, right? How could we? So we just tested it. We just showed how we could test it. How could we repeat it?
Change the temperature.
We asked the question again on a
Do
later
that.
day.
Ask it again on another day, or we could bring in a whole different group of kids and a different group of adults, right? There's lots of ways to test it. So yes, this could be tested. Kind of useless information, but it could be tested. All right, now how about this one here? This one is butterflies prefer white flowers to orange flowers. Oh, stop wiggling. Do the thing.
That can absolutely be tested.
What do we think? Go away, thing. Go away. Oh, stop it. Yep. Hold on. There. So, could we test it?
Yeah.
How could we test it?
Have a bunch of.
What do you think, Lucas?
So you can get a bunch of white flowers and orange flowers and see which ones they go to more.
Okay, that's one thing we could do. How else could we do it? Anybody else? Any other ideas? Yeah?
Same flower, different colors. See if it's colors.
Okay, there you go.
To build on that, different types of flowers. One on color orange, one color white.
All right, so what are some ways that, okay, so what are some controls that you'd have to put in place to get answers here? Gabe, I'm looking to see who hasn't answered. Gabe hasn't answered anything. Do you have any thoughts on what you might need to do? No? That's a good answer. There you go. You get a coin. Because you answered. Hayden.
I get several sets of one group being the same color of flowers. One group being a different color of flowers.
There you go.
And we
Okay.
have, let's say two groups of 5 butterflies, the same variety.
Okay.
to test.
That's a way to test. Do you have any thoughts, Ethan, on what you could do to what controls you could put in place or how you could test this or what you could do?
No.
No? No thoughts? How about this? What if we used chrysanthemums and only chrysanthemums? Would that be a good control?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have the same scent, they have the same size. So now we know it's color. That's the only difference, right? Between like an orange chrysanthemum and a white chrysanthemum. Then you know that all you're looking for is color. Then, okay, you're good, right? What about the butterflies? What about the butterflies? You know?
Multiple species of butterflies.
Multiple species of butterflies versus one species of butterflies. So if you were trying to test butterflies in general, you could have all the species of butterflies that you can find. But if you're trying to check it for one species, but I would think the best control would be to get the same species of flower in different colors, right? That would probably be the best control. All right, so how about one more? Is this a good hypothesis?
Yes.
Diabetes is caused by witchcraft. Great hypothesis, right? It's really good. It's a great hypothesis. All right, how would you test that?
Oh, you get a bunch of witches.
Well, the first thing you gotta do is define the terms. So what's witchcraft? I don't know what that means. I mean, I have an idea. I have an idea, but I don't know what that means. Like, not really.
Women up in the town of Salem.
Yeah, okay, pull out some poor old Salem girls. That is a theory.
You take witches who have diabetes and then they start.
Oh, it's just the cord, that's all.
That's a good hypothesis.
Yep.
I want the lady to come out of TV.
It's just the HDMI gets wiggled sometimes.
I want to die.
There you go. All right, so here's why this particular hypothesis and this particular thing matters. So not diabetes, but Caden mentioned Salem. Okay, Salem, North Carolina, duh, there's Salem. Salem, Massachusetts. Everybody's heard the stories of the Salem witch trials. We know what happened there, at least somewhat. Anybody read The Crucible? That's a good story that kind of narrows it down for you. So essentially you had a group of, started with girls like y'all's age, right? And they had, what kind of symptoms were they showing? Does anybody remember? Do you know? That is passionate.
So, reading books, they, warts, they also did, birthmarks.
Yeah, that's how they checked for witches. Absolutely. What were some, do you know some of the symptoms that the girls were having when the girls in Salem were saying, somebody has like hexed me, right? They thought they were under a spell, a witch was doing it to them. Do you know what Colin, do you know what they're experiencing?
I think a couple of girls were having seizures and stuff.
There was definitely some muscle twitching, uncontrolled seizure type activity. What else do we know?
Someone claimed to have like dreams about like, witches attacking them.
Yeah, dreams. Do you know what else? Do you know, PJ?
Poor crops.
Poor crops, yeah. So in particular, these girls in Salem started experiencing seizure type activity, abnormal behavior, but a lot of what they initially felt, a lot of them felt like there was something crawling under their skin and their skin was on fire. And they felt like they were being hexed, like somebody had put a spell on them because they couldn't explain what it was. So they hypothesized, oh, this is witchcraft. Does anybody know what they think it actually was? Like now we know.
Disease.
You know?
Hysteria from like flour, flour.
It's flour, yeah. It's less psychological mass hysteria. Some of it probably was, but some of it was an actual thing. So there's a particular fungus called ergot, and it likes to grow on rye. And if you get rye flour or rye grain in a nice, damp, dark place, it's going to grow ergot. That's what it does. Ergot causes ergotism, which is extreme pain, fire in the skin, itching and scratching, twitching, all the retching, all the things that those girls experienced can be traced to a possible ergotism, basically fungal infection in all these people because they were harvesting rye and they were taking their rye and putting it in the cellar where it's damp and cold and moist and dark. It's growing fungus, they're eating it, and then they start blaming each other, and then before you know it, people are getting hanged and burned and all that craziness. So, yeah, so sometimes you make a hypothesis based on the information you have. They certainly didn't know about ergotism. They're basing it on the information they have, which wasn't great. And that's where they ended up. But, hey. So, did great. Now, unit 1 is lesson 1. That's all it is. After every unit, you get a test, all right? But this unit 1 test is only on one lesson because it's only one lesson long. Most of your units are going to be several lessons long. One of them is like real long. Some of them are like 4 lessons. Some of them are longer. Just depends on the topic. This is the how to science topic. All right, so I will give you, before every test, I will give you a little graphic that looks exactly like this. It'll show up every time and all the topics you need to study around it. But for this one, it's everything because it's one lesson. So everything that was in your video lesson, everything that we went over today, everything that was in your binder today, just so you know, if you're new, every single class is recorded. You see the little thing up there, it's on Zoom. So if you're not here ever and you want to come in live, you can come into the Zoom live. If not, it's being recorded. You'll get a link this afternoon because you get an email from me and there'll be a link and it'll take you right to this recording if you want to watch this recording. These are the things to study. When you are ready for your test, when you feel like you know all this information, all you got to do is go into Teacheries. It'll say Unit 1 test. Click on it. There's a time limit. It's usually going to be 60 minutes. Sometimes it'll be a smidge longer. And you go ahead and you take your test. And when you've got it the way you want it, you hit submit. Now, I mentioned this in the grill and chill, but I'll mention it again because this trips up somebody every year. If it is true or false, if it's true or false or multiple choice, Teacheries is going to auto grade. If you say false and the answer is true, it's going to say it's wrong and move on. Okay. But if it is a short answer or an essay or a fill in the blank, If you don't spell it exactly right or type exactly what I've put in as an example answer, it's gonna mark it wrong. It's not wrong until I've reviewed it. So I will take your test, every single one of you. I will look through the whole test, and anything that's marked wrong, I will look at it. Why did they get it wrong? What did they get wrong? Is it actually wrong? And I will correct it. Then the test will get returned to you. Once it's returned to you, you know whether or not it was right or wrong. Okay, so don't panic when the first thing you put in is wrong and you're like, oh no, it's wrong. All right, so then you will have an assignment to start reading. This is when you start picking up your reading this week. So you go ahead and do lesson 2, do the reading, do the binder work, and come in. Does anybody have any questions about how class runs or anything about what we covered today or anything like that? Or are we good? Are we good? Okay, so it's about 9 minutes early, which is fine. That's fine. You can be 9 minutes early today. I will put the coins on the counter. Come get your coins. Gabe, yours is the one without a name because you came in last, so I have to add your name to the one. But hit candy machine on the way out the door. And here should be good. Make sure your ride is here and then you don't wander off.
Miss that.
You can get your coin.
May I use you as a reference?
Absolutely, yes. Send me an email or I will forget you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, send me an email.
You guys can have my things.
Yeah. Excellent job. Not that bad.
You see my
Work.
Yeah.
You're a work. Got your ball. Got your ball. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Good. Study everything. Study everything, study everything, study everything.
May bring next week, I may not.
Okay.
As I move in that Wednesday.
Yeah, you got a lot going on. Well, if I don't see you, that'd be great. That'd be fun. You had at least 2.
They've been thieved.
I bet I know who did it. Someone thieved my coins. I know who did it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, you answered a lot.
5 cents.
You're rich. Somebody grab there, bookmark. Coin. See? Hang on. Give me a minute. Okay. Little late, I want to go out the door. No.
What? Every morning, I do the lab. I used to get it off.
I know, you shouldn't eat that. Sit. Wait, right there. You shouldn't be eating those, they aren't good for you. You look stupid. You look stupid trying to chew it, don't leave it. You look dumb. You're trying to eat it, you look dumb, you shouldn't be doing that. It's bad for you. See how stupid you look? See? Embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself. Good boy. Come on, Pat, leave it. Come. Come. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Come on. Ozzy, come. Good boy. Place. Wait there.